Are you ready to grind? It's Sports 56 Grind Time with Peter Edmiston and Anthony Zane. Now, here's Peter and Anthony.
Lego!
Oh, come on! Come on, come on, come on. Wait a second. Hold on. Let me get this right. Come on, come on, come on. It's the Masters.
Yes.
It's Masters Thursday.
Cut the music down.
We can't have any fun. It's very buttoned down. The governors, the patrons are watching the golfers swing their clubs. Of course, on this beautiful course, the first 9 and the second 9.
And we don't eat our greens. We play on them.
That's exactly right.
Hello, friends.
And we have some nasty meals from some of these former champions. Bubba Watson, when he was a former champion, he served
Confetti cake.
grilled chicken and confetti cake. That's exactly what should have been arrested on the spot.
It's nasty as hell.
Hideki Matsuyama, by the way, serving a beautiful meal this time around. Served some Wagyu steak and some miso.
Miso horny.
Come on now, that's a racist.
Oh,
and offensive, I think.
hey, speaking of offensive.
No, don't be, no, we're not, no.
You took him out of his gym, man.
No, not doing it. Not yet.
Oh, God.
I'm doing it.
Not doing it.
Oh, God.
Not yet.
Can I just tell you okay. Can I tell you where it happened, at least? I was out to eat at a Asian restaurant, and this white guy said something so offensive to one of the waitresses, I almost got him slapped that dude. I promise I wanted to slap him.
I wish you had.
Because I know he was way on the other side of the restaurant. That was made it so bad, because it's very quiet in this restaurant. And the
He
guy
actually
said,
yelled it?
no, it was so quiet that he said it in a normal speaking voice,
But you could
and
just
I
hear
heard it. Like, dude, do you think you're whispering? Like, it was so stupid what he said, but I'll tell you later.
Yeah, you tell me later.
Just don't do that, man. Yeah. Just don't do that. It was
Who on
super
earth?
offensive.
Who on earth would do that? I hope no one would do that.
It was so offensive, I was offended.
Think
Don't
about
much
that. Think
offend
about
the
that.
kid.
Think about that for a second.
Yeah.
All right, the Masters is indeed underway. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about your Memphis Grizzlies back in action tonight as the regular season draws to a close. Man, the season can't end fast enough, as far as I'm concerned. This is just playing out the string, man. They're playing the Nuggets. Just is it really that spectacular of a game? We'll see how it goes. But I think they're just playing out the string, man. What are they playing for at this point? Just trying to get a little rhythm. We'll talk about that. Some teams do have a lot to play for, just not the Grizzlies. We will talk about that with our good friend Rob Fisher, who joins us in our next segment. In addition to that, we're going to talk to Dustin Starr about the world of wrestling, and we have a whole lot to discuss there because WrestleMania is in the books, and a lot happened. We saw the worst stunner in history.
Oh, man.
A stunner so bad that all you could do is just laugh at it. A slow motion train wreck of a stunner that happened from Vince McMahon, who just sort of slopped around and fell over. I don't know what. I mean, he's a 75-year-old man. What's he doing? What is he doing in there?
Why is he getting stunned anyway? Yep.
I don't know what we're doing with that. But anyway, we're gonna talk about that with Dustin, along with what the good stuff that happened at WrestleMania. So that is all still to come too. It is Major League Baseball opening day. I know John Harden is, frankly,
Giddy.
I was gonna say, almost aroused at this point with what's going on. But I don't want to discuss that any further. But he's very excited. I'll just put it that way. He's very excited about it, and I'm excited for him, and I'm excited for all these baseball fans out there. I myself have absolutely zero interest in it, but I'm excited for all you guys, and that's what it's all about. I'm not gonna, one of my favorite sayings. I'm not gonna yuck your yum. You like baseball? Hey, I think it's dreadfully boring, but I'm not gonna yuck it. I don't. That's fine,
Man,
you watch it all day long, man. That's cool.
getting your yuck yum is kind of, I can get with that.
Yeah, I'm not yucking anyone's yum, man. Whatever you're into.
I don't want you to yuck my yum, but if somebody want to get yucky on the yum, hey, I
don't know if you want. I don't know if you want to do that. It's just,
man, pitch their nose, tell them.
I don't know if you want to do that. It's getting deep in it. You don't know if you want to do that or not. Tiger Woods, by the way, two consecutive really tough par saves to keep himself at even par. So he's hanging in there. Course is tough. Course is tough out there. The Governors at Masters. He's on the 11th hole now. 11th hole known as White Dogwood. Unsurprisingly, not known as Black Dogwood.
Oh, this is Tiger right now, right?
That's Tiger right now.
We're looking at Tiger Woods live.
He's the black golfer that's out there. It's, Tiger Woods. I don't know if you know that.
That screen's so little I can't even make out what's going
That's
on.
true. It's small and an SD.
Yeah.
It's the it's like going back to 19. It's like his first Masters win. Like go back and watch that
standard definition.
Yeah, it's like is that tight? Yeah.
And then
I can't.
what's it called? The rest.
Yeah, we got letterboxing. We got letterboxing, and we got side boxing, which is we have a. It's like a. I don't even know what
the screen is little. It's not even spread all the way out.
It's tiny. So it's nice. It's kind of cute.
I wonder if this remote can change that.
If you man, you're gonna start. You're gonna mess the whole thing up.
I ain't gonna mess with it.
We actually have it. I promise you, it's gonna be worse when you end up.
Yeah, I ain't gonna mess with it. There you
whatever
go.
you end up.
You
with,
right.
it's gonna
You
be
right.
worse. I might just bust out the stream here on the old.
There you go.
Got a little something going.
Props to Tiger though, man.
No, it's nice. It's nice to see right there. If you want to join us, you can. It is the AutoZone listener line. Get in the zone. AutoZone 901-360-8255. 901-360-8255. You want to join us? Come on. Get it.
Come on.
Shimon. Excuse me.
That's what you was about to get it.
What happened?
You was about to get that mic.
I shouldn't have gone for it. Shimon. Bo Lewis. No to mine.
Bo Lewis.
Bo Lewis, you're a vegetable.
There you go.
They're gonna hang you. I'm gonna hang you. We will keep you updated on everything that's going on over at Augusta. Of course, throughout the day here on the program. Saying you feeling good today? You feeling ready to roll?
The energy is good. The vibes are good. This weather killing me. I hung out with Darian last night, man. I got to see Darian off the clock, man.
What on earth were you guys doing?
I don't know.
Where'd y'all hang out?
At FedEx.
This is what we were doing. Listening to baseball.
No, that definitely ain't true. I don't know. What were y'all doing for real?
I hung out at the FedEx hub with him.
You just went over there and hung out with him?
Passing COVID around.
Yeah, man.
FedEx up.
It's an inside joke.
Oh, good. I'm super confused.
Be like, what?
I'm like, what?
That was a nod to Darian. We'll talk about it on the break.
Yeah,
but
I'm super confused about that, but that's fine. We'll go from there. Now, as we mentioned, of course, are you like a? I know you're not a huge golf guy, but I mean the Governors is the Governors. Like it's a special thing. Are you gonna tune in? You gonna watch a little bit? You gonna be locked in at all?
No, not at all.
Not at all.
I might check out my boy Tiger though. T Weezy.
I mean he's doing all right. He's in the mix. He's amongst those in contention. He's only 2 shots off the lead. I'm paying attention because 2 guys I bet on, Scotty Scheffler and Charles Schwartzel are both tied for the lead right now. So
I would have guessed you was like a Louis Oosthuizen guy.
Well, Schwartzel's the same. He's South African. Okay. He's the African American golfer.
Yeah, African American.
Down there.
Little Uzi version.
Schwartzel's up there too as a representative of Africa. Big Africa, they call him. And so he's out there doing his thing. And I got him at plus 55,000 on the wager. Plus 55,000.
That's a wager, though.
So if he can win, I would do a.
Did you opt in so you can get your money back?
Yeah, of course.
Oh, great! Hey, FanDuel, that's awesome.
Of course. It's all good, but he's got to finish top 10 though. That's part of the that's part of the deal. You gotta. So yeah, but I did opt in. Hope. Hey, listen, we're a long way to go. We're a long way to go. But just if you would allow me a moment of dreaming. You know, a lot of guys haven't even teed off yet. So I'm just hey, allow me a moment of dreaming, if you will. Okay.
Yeah.
I realize that it's most likely going to be a complete disaster.
I don't watch
the cut entirely, but for now, I'm loving it. Scotty Scheffler, I'm much happier with. I think it's like a plus 1,800 or something in that neighborhood. So it's a much more.
I thought that was my phone ringing. I was like, oh man, I left my ringer.
No, this is
the Governors.
You have to take your voice down to a respectable level.
Below a whisper.
You can't talk loudly or even normally at the Masters. It's not allowed. You have to have those nasty pimento cheese sandwiches. Pimento cheese is gross. One of my hot food takes out there.
What?
Pimento cheese is gross.
It is pretty nasty.
It's extremely nasty.
It doesn't really taste like cheese.
I don't know what it is. Looks disgusting.
It's like old something.
Looks worse going in than coming out. And that's my rule of thumb is that should never be the case.
Looks like that last little piece of rotel to be left in the thing, minus the
Once it
meat.
crust all up.
Yeah, minus the meat, but just with some red little dots in there.
Just not a good deal. Not a good deal at all. So anyway, we'll like I said, we'll keep you abreast of what's going on. I just wanted to say that to get John Harden's attention. We'll keep you abreast of what's going on over at the Masters throughout the program today. Also, as we mentioned, of course, I don't know if you're like, I mean, we've talked about it before. I feel like the end of the season can't come quickly enough from an NBA perspective. But today is Major League Baseball starting, so you got kind of after the delay and all that stuff. And I know that there's a lot of Cardinal fans excited. Maybe get a little last ride with Albert Pujols. That's kind of fun. To see maybe that's something to hang your hat on. Some interesting stuff in the rotation for the Cardinals. Dodgers are probably gonna win this thing. Certainly favorites. Mets pitching staff, some concerns about Jacob deGrom, among others, and all that stuff. I think today, Anthony saying I'm going to watch an inning of baseball.
Why not?
I pledge a full inning, 6 outs.
Let's watch it together. No, you watch one and I'll watch one and we'll compare notes.
Okay.
Go watch a half inning apiece.
No,
I'm watching a full. I pledge I'm going to watch a full inning of
both
baseball.
sides, get a at bat.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch a full. I got the package here. I got all the games.
Yeah, why not just
I can just flip
flex
through.
and just watch? Yeah,
I can watch them all at once if I want to.
let's watch the game that's like way out of our market.
I might turn it on right now while this is going on. I might just knock it out now so I don't have to worry about it tonight.
No, you multitask. You gotta be undisrupted.
Well, I can't pledge I'm gonna watch it undisrupted. No, I don't.
And I heard about you guys television. Y'all got the F1 cameras inside the
Who you
car.
telling?
So my question
I
is,
can have 4
do you
games
have
on at
the
one time.
camera, the pitcher's camera and the catcher's camera and what you watching? Y'all got all that?
I got everything.
You can follow any golfer you want on the Masters. Just whoever.
Y'all got sweet camera views.
I got everything. I got everything that you could possibly.
Amen.
want.
I can watch
views.
Big Africa in Africa. I can see the African point of view. For real.
What about? Oh my goodness.
Lil Uzi in there. I can watch them.
He's not wrong. He's not wrong. You can
For real.
you can watch the whole thing. You can watch every little bit of it. If that's what's out there, you can watch it all. Every baseball game, whatever you want. Just make it happen. So I do pledge that I'm going to try to do that. I was also intrigued today as we were kind of watching the Masters, kind of get like there are a few events out there. And I guess I was heartened by the fact that I saw yesterday that earlier this week, Tuesday, in fact, was the first day since March 12th, 2020. Something happened. Do you guys want to guess what that is? Tuesday this week, first day since March 12th, 2020 that something happened in Shelby County.
I don't know. No, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm out too.
Something really bad happened Tuesday. So.
What was March 12th, 2020? You remember?
Well, that was when
That's
everything
right
shut
before
down.
we got shut down.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
I know that. I was in the
Tuesday
restaurant.
was the first day since March 12th, 2020 that there were 0 new COVID cases in
For
Shelby
real?
County. 0.
None.
None.
It's because y'all didn't get tested. No.
That's because they ain't going to the doctor.
I mean, that's possible, although I think they are still testing. But the cases have gone down even from a hospital point of view. And so it's something to celebrate. Like,
I was
let's
gonna say, play cool in the game?
You know what? Let's get out there. Let's just celebrate, Because it's been a lot of bad news, a lot of negative stuff and all that. And so I'm reminded because I go back to March 12th and the Masters was just a couple of weeks away at that point when we and it's one of those, the Masters is one of those events that's like, when you grow up as a sports fan, your calendar is a sports calendar.
Mm-hmm.
Like, when you get the Masters, that means it's Easter. That means you're getting close to the end of school. That means that, we're about to see spring and you're about to be able to go back and play outside and the days are getting longer and all that stuff. Just like when you catch like, the Major League Baseball All-Star game, that like, okay, we're about to kind of start getting close to middle of summer. And then you start getting into, college football season starting, which is school starting, which is all that stuff. There's certain things, certain events that happen. U.S. Open is Father's Day always. These things are always linked in your mind to
WrestleMania and
WrestleMania,
and the NCAA championship game.
Yeah, they're always right around the same time as the first pitch. And it's just nice to have the calendar back. It's been a minute since we had the full calendar back. Everything just like it used to be. It's just I don't want to go too far away from appreciating that because it's been a long time.
It's a good feeling.
It's a nice feeling, and I don't want people to get too, because I know a lot of people who are really worried, understandably so, about what's going on even still with COVID. But if you've gotten yourself so anxious and so freaked out that you can't appreciate the positive stuff too, then that's a bad place to be. So, hey man, when it's bad, it's bad, and when it's good, it's good. You have to be honest. And right now, it's good, so we have to be honest about that and just be happy and appreciate that and say thank you.
And as a parent, I feel super good too, man. I feel a lot because I was expecting to see. We get an email at school that says there's a COVID case, and I saw where there was a long stretch, months since we got an email, and I don't know if there's a credit to the school just stopped testing kids or. It's just great, man, to see that things are kind of getting back to normal. I was one of those people that never want to hear this new normal stuff. Like, no, I'm not wearing a mask for the rest of my life. And no, I'm not. I'm going to dine in at restaurants again. I'm going to go to games. And I heard people say, well, this is the new normal. Like, no, we're not. It's not going to be the new normal.
I mean, it was the new normal. It was the new normal.
But
it
wasn't permanent is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
New normal is getting checked into it's airport security. That's the new normal since 9/11.
And that's
you know what I mean?
Similarly ridiculous in some respects.
Yeah.
But yes, I want people to appreciate what we got.
Yeah, for sure.
Because
we did it.
We did it one way or the other. We did it. Now, looks to me like based on where we are right now, it's almost time for a Masters update.
Governors.
Because I get said
You're right,
it's a Masters update.
My bad.
It's the Governors when we're talking about on the show. It's a Masters update.
Yes.
Right about now. And, of course, we have Masters updates every 20 minutes after the hour all throughout the day. We've done it, and we'll do it today and tomorrow on the program. And, of course, these Masters updates, we appreciate them. We're happy for them. And there's a lot of good stuff happening down at Augusta. In fact, we got a new leader, and I'll let them tell you about that here in just a second. Brought to you by Mid-South Wellness over in the Eastgate Shopping Center. Also brought to you by Bob Simpson, State Farm Agency, Wedgwood Golf Club, Ronald Bubba Sandifer, Emmett Baird Realty, and, of course, the Courage Through Cancer 5K, May 21st over at Shelby Farms, a great event to help folks as they fight that dreaded disease of cancer. For now, though, we head over to Augusta for a Masters update. Quite an update we've got. So we're just still waiting for that update. I think the clock may be a little bit wrong on that. Maybe that clock there is a little bit wrong. This one in here is about a minute different. So maybe I'm queuing off the wrong clock, possibly. I don't know. We'll see. Let's try this again. Time now. Coming up, we go to Augusta live, where all the action is. This music tells you that the excitement is here. Masters update. It's coming your way.
Anytime now.
I think it's going to come in, and I'm excited about it. Let's hear what's going on at Augusta.
From the Augusta National Golf Club, Westwood One Sports presents this special report on the Masters. I'm Ted Emmerich. Tiger Woods on the second nine now, even through 10 in his first competitive round since shattering his leg in a car crash last year. Woods is 3 off the lead. Rory McIlroy in the last group to tee off later this hour. McIlroy making his 8th attempt at the career Grand Slam.
I know if I play well, I'll give myself chances to win this golf tournament, and it's just a matter of going out there and executing the way you know that you can, and stick to your game plan and be patient and be disciplined and all the things you need to do around Augusta National. But if I think back to 2015 when I was coming off that run, yeah, there's certainly less pressure, I feel, than there was then.
Yeah, in 2015, McIlroy was coming off back-to-back major titles at the British Open and the PGA Championship. Rory has not won a major since. You're listening to coverage of the 2022 Masters on Westwood One.
Blue 42, 53 is the mic. Burrito, Hank.
In football, sometimes you have to call an audible. We feel the same way about financial planning. With Fidelity Wealth Management, your dedicated advisor will work with you to create a personalized plan for your full financial picture. And as your needs change, they'll help you make adjustments so you can stay on target. Learn more at fidelity.com/wealth. Investment minimums apply. Fidelity Brokerage Services, LLC.
You're the one everyone looks to for answers. Come rain or shine, the job must get done. And you're the one who makes it happen. We get you, Jackie in Fresno, putting your employee safety first. And Manny in Chattanooga, whose local Grainger team knows him by name. We're here for you and all the ones who get it done, with 24/7 customer support and access to product specialists to help you find what you need. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
First round at the Masters, the course is playing long after all the rain from the last 2 days plus strong winds, but Sung J M is supplying the fireworks in Augusta today. Let's check the leaderboard, sponsored by Fidelity Wealth Management. M, the 2019 PGA Tour Rookie of the Year with birdies at 1, 2, and 3. He's alone at 3 under par. At 2 under, Danny Willett, 2016 Masters champion Cameron Smith, Joaquin Niemann, world number 1 Scotty Scheffler, and 2011 Masters champion Charles Schwartzel. Niemann holed out for eagle from 105 yards at the par 4 ninth, just the 6th eagle at hole number 9 in Masters history, and the first since Bill Haas in the second round in 2013. As for Tiger Woods, even par through 10, 3 off the lead. He started with 5 straight pars before a phenomenal shot at the par 3 6th that led to a tap-in birdie, then a par at 7, bogey at the par 5 8th, pars at 9 and 10, even par overall. From Augusta, I'm Ted Emmerich, Westwood One Sports.
Join the voice of the Tigers, Dave Woloshin, for Wolo and Friends, presented by Homer Skelton Hyundai. Weekday mornings from 10 to 11 here on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
This Masters Update has been brought to you by Ronald Bubba Sandifer, Emmett Baird Realty, the Courage Through Cancer 5K, May 21st at Shelby Farms, Wedgwood Golf Club, Bob Simpson State Farm Agency, and Mid-South Wellness in Eastgate.
Something you probably do know. Progressive can not only offer you a great price when you bundle home and auto, they offer you round-the-clock protection. Something you probably don't know, the average oak tree branch can hold 70 pounds. Something you probably do know, your neighbor is building their kid a treehouse. Something you probably don't know, a falling treehouse would take out your whole fence. Bundle your home and auto with Progressive and get more than a great price. Get round-the-clock protection. Something you know for the things you don't know. Coverage from Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and third-party insurers, and subject to policy terms. Bundle discount not available in all states or situations.
Do you want a greener, more weed-free lawn? If you're like me, you can't stand the sight of dandelions, clover, or especially crabgrass. Hi, I'm Brandon Hawley, president of Lawn Solutions. We are your locally owned and operated weed control and fertilization company. We are also experts in disease and insect control on your lawn and landscape. Our uniformed technicians are full-time, year-round licensed and certified by the state of Tennessee. Lawn Solutions' personalized service is far more superior to that of national companies that promise but simply cannot deliver. We return phone calls, we keep appointments, and we want your business. What we will not do is bother you with endless phone calls or junk mail. Lawn Solutions will not sell you something your lawn doesn't need. If you're looking for a local lawn care company to kill your weeds and feed your grass, then Lawn Solutions is the finest. Call us at 867-5626. That's 867-5626. Or go online at LawnSolutionsInc.net. From our family to yours, we want to thank you for your business.
Hewlett & Dunn Boot & Clothing Company, we have it all. From handmade Amish leather belts, fine and casual clothing, boots, casual boots, work boots, fancy boots, and even safety-toed boots. Lots of cowboy hats to choose from, even Nebo lights, Orco hard coolers, good-looking duck head dress shirts, duck head caps, shorts, and pants. Tons of jeans from Ariat, Wrangler, Devil Dog, and Kimes Ranch jeans. At Hewlett & Dunn, we have a great selection of Old South t-shirts and caps. Fine clothing from dress to casual to Sunday best. Enjoy choosing from UFO's orthopedic approved shoes. Hewlett & Dunn Boot and Clothing Company. Boots of every size, every color, every skin. Great quality Western, work, and safety toe boots. Hewlett & Dunn Boots and Clothing Company. 111 North Center Street, Collierville. Hewlett & Dunn. Hewlett & Dunn, serving you and your family since 1961.
Wilkinson's Liquor and Wine is celebrating their 35th year. Come in today and choose from a big selection of tequilas, vodkas, and over 70 different single malts. Bourbon whiskey fans will find over 200 bourbons and whiskeys from around the world, along with wines from every region for all you wine enthusiasts. Wilkinson's Liquor and Wine, 146 Highway 72, Suite 102 in Collierville. It's next to Captain John's Barbecue. Open every day, including Sundays from 10 to 7 for football and all sports fans. Wilkinson's Liquor and Wine, celebrating 35 years with you.
Now, back to Sports 56 Grind Time. Here once again are Peter Edmiston and Anthony Singh.
Hold on.
Gonna whip them braids around.
Hey, bro, I got real beef with WWE too, bro. I got real beef for real. I'll wait till Dustin comes on.
Yeah, you gotta save that beef. Save that beef.
They censoring my girl, man. I ain't liking it.
Save that beef. Save that beef.
They censoring Bianca, man. We got to talk about that. I'm not feeling that at all.
I understand that. You know who we do need, though, is our good friend, Rob Fisher.
Come on. Bring him out.
Bring him out. We need Rob Fisher, folks. We need him,
Hello,
and he's
I'm
here. And he's here, ladies and gentlemen. Happy opening day to you, Rob Fisher. I know you, like millions of others, like baseball, and I applaud you for that.
Well, thank you. Appreciate it. So
that's the best I can do,
happy
Fish.
opening
I'm not really into it. So but I know you are, and that's that's what it's all about, man. So I'm happy for you.
That's right.
I'm happy.
Yeah,
for you.
we're excited to get baseball going. A week late.
Easiest sport to beat is what I'm told. So
I don't know about that. I like the Brewers today,
okay. All right.
and I like the Padres today. Those are my two baseball plays today.
Build that war chest. Just keep building that war chest, and that's
yeah.
what it's
There's
all about.
nothing easier than opening day of baseball to pick winners.
Especially when you've had like 2 weeks of spring training to go on, so everyone's got a great idea of exactly who can do what. Out there.
Not a clue.
And we got this new DH thing in the National League. I don't like it, Fish.
That's right. With a lot of changes. A lot of changes in baseball.
You like the new changes? What do you like? What do you like? What do you not
Yeah,
like?
I'm all right with it. You know, I guess I used to kind of look at myself as the purist, but I think every change that baseball's made has worked, and I think it's been good for the game. So I'm all right with the DH. I'm getting tired of watching pitchers just take 3 pitches and not even attempt to swing the bat. So it was worthless, and so I'm good with it. I'm good with the DH.
Rob, Commissioner Adam Silver says he wants to try to find ways to kind of manage the players over-resting thing in the NBA. What are your thoughts on that? Just teams resting their stars in general, and what can that possibly mean? Like, I didn't read anything about it. I just saw the tweets about it. I'm trying to figure out, because he was like, he wants to incentivize guys who play. So what do you think he means by that, and what are your thoughts on players resting in general?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what you can do. I really don't. And, I was talking to Mark Giannotto about it the other day because he asked Taylor Jenkins about it.
I talked to Taylor Jenkins.
Rob Fisher, what can we do about this?
I talked to Taylor Jenkins, and, I mean, you understand John, of course, but...
That's right.
Dylan, who just got back, what is he resting from? Go ahead, I'm sorry.
His question basically was, is this just an example of the season being too long?
Yeah.
And he asked me, and the bottom line is, I don't think it matters. I think if you had the season, first of all, I don't think any season in any sport is going to be shortened. I just don't.
No.
No. If anything, things will be lengthened or teams will be added to the playoffs.
Or you add a play-in, or
added. Exactly. More is going to be added before we take things away. And even if the season was 70 games, I think you'd still have the same problem. And frankly, I don't think the problem's as bad as it was, let's say, 3 years ago. When we had a lot of guys doing load management and just taking nights off. I think for the most part now, you see it due to injury. Now, I think we rest guys a lot longer due to injury than we used to, but that's because teams now have these full-fledged science teams, medical teams where your rest is more dependent on science and numbers than it is anything else. So even if it was at 70 games, I think you'd still have the same situation, that it comes down to the science and should a guy be playing. So I don't think it would matter. What can Adam Silver do about it to change it? I don't know. I don't know what you can do. If a guy's hurt, he's hurt. And if a guy needs rest, he needs rest. And we've gotten to the point in all of sports where rest is needed scientifically. Mm-hmm. So it's going to continue to happen. I don't know how you can incentivize it. I mean, players are making so much money. What are you going to do if you play this many? I mean, that's going to have to be done in contract. You know, you play so many games, you get so much money.
Maybe in-game naps. In-game naps sounds good.
In-game naps would be good. I love those. Yeah. So I don't know. I don't know what you can do to change it, but I think the problem's a lot less than what it was a few years ago, to be honest.
Well, I don't know. I think that it would be better value for everyone if you lopped off at least 10 games and maybe more. I mean, I think that it feels – because we've seen a few times during the regular season that the Grizzlies have had some big games where they've had some time to kind of prepare for it. Like that game with Brooklyn when the ESPN and all that stuff was happening. There was 2 or 3 days before that game. And it felt, in addition to the circumstances around it, it just allowed you to kind of get your breath and preview that specific game and all that. I think that would be a nice thing to do. I think these last few games, don't have a lot of zazz, don't have a lot of zip for a lot of teams, including the Grizzlies, because there's really, nothing to play for. At this point, you're just kind of playing out the string. But, I mean, you're going to get out there and you're going to play and you're going to do your best. Especially with this team trying to continue to maintain the rhythm that they've established and what they've been able to do this year. The game, in terms of a loss the other night against Utah had so much more to play for than the Grizzlies. And the fact that the Grizzlies took that game to overtime, really didn't have any business taking it to overtime the way they played in that second half. It was like one of those moral victory things, I suppose. Like, I mean, I felt... I felt like that was as good a loss as you could have, because you had team shooting 39% and playing pretty bad, but it just kind of shows you like they just have this I don't know, man. They have this like confidence or the swagger that they've just have never had before. It's kind of fun to watch.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And that was probably the first game this year, and obviously it's because of the circumstances and where the Grizzlies sit. That when the game ended, it was like, oh, they lost.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, it didn't feel bad. I don't know if I'd call it a moral victory, but I think what you do, you look at it and you say, boy, this team played like terribly offensively and shot under 40%, and yet somehow found themselves in overtime against the Utah Jazz on the road in a very difficult place to play, and doing it without a couple of your starters again, which has been the key, or I guess the continuing mantra of this team is to do it without your starters. And they were able to do it again. There was great fight. They never gave up. There was never any panic. They just kept playing, and all of a sudden Tyus Jones has a layup to take the lead, and then that happens. And I thought Tyus's quote afterwards was great. Just humbles you a little bit. Everything's been going so well. We stole one in San Antonio the other night in the same situation, and it happened to us.
You're going to be asking yourself at the end of the year, oh, we found.
And so it's just I think it humbled them a little bit, but the effort was great. The intensity was good. The defense was really good, and you had a chance to win. And I think that's what you want on the road, especially against really good teams, is an opportunity to win. And the Grizzlies put themselves in position to do that. Just couldn't make it happen in overtime. But there was nothing to be ashamed of. I think after the game, it was an interesting game because a couple of people have remarked to me that they saw Taylor Jenkins. Just his actions on the sideline were different than what you see in a normal game. It wasn't necessarily, and I kind of felt the same way. It wasn't necessarily coaching against the Utah Jazz. It was kind of coaching our own team and just kind of trying to get the habits right, trying to do things the right way. It felt like it was more a focus on us than it was about the matchup, and I think that's what you'll see with the Grizzlies here for the rest of the regular season.
Rob, Peter brought up a surely a fact that we can celebrate today, that yesterday was the first time we had 0 COVID cases in Shelby County in over 2 years, since March of 2020.
Wow.
We've seen it all. We walked around, I guess pretty ignorantly, like thinking it wasn't going to do anything. I remember it was the Orlando Magic game. in 2020 when they first started talking about when COVID first came around. And we all arrogantly were like, it's no big deal, like canceling games. What are they talking about? Like, it was that's the attitude that some of us have. Except for Peter, of course, who kind of saw this coming. I remember Peter was the main one that was, I'm telling you guys, it's coming. He was a real Chicken Little that night, but he was right,
Wasn't, I tell the truth, Anthony. Saying
yeah, he was he saw it coming, man.
For good
Peter,
or for bad.
he was waiting on the day, man. He was waiting on the day. It finally came. But no, we went through a lot since then. We went to no games. We were watching. Remember we were watching like replays. Remember they were playing the great replay Grizzly games with commentary with Zach Randolph and all these type of things. Then we had empty arena games. We had games where we watched the play-in games. The media came to an empty FedEx Forum to hear Eric Hasseltine scream to no one for 2 hours while we watched the TV broadcast. Then when they started trickling fans back in, we saw the COVID restrictions this year. And now we're having full arenas, and we're getting notifications that basically the playoffs this year will be sold out, full capacity, no restrictions. Did you think – I'm getting emotional thinking about it, Rob Fisher. Did you think that we would see this day again, and how exciting is it to, after all the stuff you've gone through in the last couple of years with COVID, to see things officially back to normal in FedEx Forum?
It's really exciting. I mean, it's been an unbelievable couple of years. I mean, everything you mentioned, just going through all of that, and me personally having to do different jobs because of COVID situations, and and that was just this year. I mean, you don't even have to go that back very far to realize all those. I mean, we got into Denver last night and thought to myself, because the game earlier this year we were not here because we weren't traveling because of COVID. We haven't been here in Denver in 3 years. I mean, it's crazy to think that. So to finally be back in these arenas is great. To see the people that you haven't seen in a long time has been great. And, I mean, the thing that I'm looking forward to, and I know you guys are too, just playoff basketball in FedEx Forum the way it's supposed to be. I mean, last year we got a little taste of it, but, you came home and the series was 1-1, and, you had Game 3 and Game 4, and it was electric. But to have Game 1 at home with this team and what they accomplished this year, I mean, I can't wait because it's going to bring us back to all those years of the playoffs and the excitement that was in that building. And this team has even raised that excitement to another level. So I can't wait to see playoff basketball in FedEx Forum again starting next weekend. And it's going to be amazing. It's going to give you chills, and it'll be fun to have that spotlight on Memphis again. And the spotlight's going to be on Memphis again this Sunday as they pick that game up on TNT. So it's all everything that we've gone through over the last 2 years, to do it this year, the first year back where fans can be back, and to have that building full for postseason basketball in a Game 1 on our floor, it's going to be awesome. I can't wait for it. And that's when it's going to really feel like it's back. I mean, it has felt back here recently because we've had great crowds. They've been loud, and it's been playoff-type atmosphere. But the playoffs just take it to another level. So I can't wait. I just want to get through these last 3, and let's get going. Let's start this thing because it's going to be a lot of fun.
All right, Rob Fisher, this is a tricky question.
No.
And you guys, Anthony, saying you can jump in on this maybe. Maybe we talk about this later on the show, but I want Fish's thoughts first on this. I'm going to give you a list. Just remember it, okay? And I want you to sort of power rank the likelihood of these things happening, okay?
All right.
Here's the list. Number 1, Ja Morant winning MVP. Number 2, Ja Morant winning MIP, Most Improved Player. Number 3, Desmond Bane winning Most Improved Player. Number 4, Jaren Jackson Jr. winning Defensive Player of the Year. Number 5, Taylor Jenkins winning Coach of the Year. Number 6, Zach Kleiman winning Executive of the Year.
It's a lot of stuff.
I'd put Ja MVP last, just because of the number of games that he's going to miss. And if he doesn't play 2 games the rest of the way, he doesn't even qualify statistically. So throw the MVP thing out. That's done. He's missed too many games. So I'd put that down at the bottom. I guess I'd put Desmond Bain most improved next as far as the bottom is concerned, because I think I'd put Ja most improved at the top. Because I think that's just kind of default that Ja's going to get that. So I'd put that at the top. I guess I'd put Taylor Coach of the Year second. Although it just feels like it's Monty Williams' award to win. And I think Monty would get it based on a 2-year result as opposed to just this 1 year, because he didn't win it last year. So I think Monty would get it for that reason, although I think Taylor deserves it more than Monty. So I guess I'll put Taylor 2. Jaren winning that Defensive Player of the Year, I guess I'd put 3 on that list, although I don't think that'll happen either, because I think that one's so much on reputation, and it's really something that builds from the beginning of the season on. I think he put himself in the discussion for next year, but I don't know if he's going to get it this year. But I would say the 2 most likely, I guess, would be Ja winning most improved, and then Taylor being.
What about Zach Kleiman, executive?
Oh, Zach. I guess I'd put that after Coach. I mean, he should get a lot of recognition for it. I just haven't heard his name mentioned a lot for it. But he should be in the discussion, should be in the running for sure. So I think I'd say that one probably has a little bit more chance than Jaren winning Defensive Player of the Year. So I'd put that third ahead of Jaren.
Mine's pretty much like Rob, little flip-floppish. I got Ja MIP number 1. Kleiman Executive of the Year 2. I can't see how they get it to anybody else. Jenkins Coach of the Year, Jaren DPOY, Ja MVP, and Bain Most Improved Player.
Okay. I think Jaren's got a decent chance to win Defensive Player of the Year.
He's starting to get a lot more love and a lot more recognition.
Some buzz.
So.
I mean, he leads the league in stocks overall. He's his advanced numbers are all really good. The problem for him is just fouls, and he's just had too many games where he's fouled out or close to it, or only played 15, 20 minutes because of the foul situation. That is sort of a problem for him. But he's played a bunch of games. He's been healthy. That's been a huge part of Jaren's run. And I think we saw the other night. I mean, he got a little too goofy with both Ja and Dillon out. That he just kind of wanted to jack up some shots. Some of those 27 attempts were a little ill-advised. I don't think that Jaren, as much as I'm a big fan of Jaren, I don't know that he needs 27 attempts at any point in time.
And how many of those were shots that he normally makes?
Yeah. I mean,
the threes got a little wild at the end because the Grizzlies were down and he was trying to knock that.
He was making those. That's the weird thing. Yeah. He was making those. Yeah.
But there were so many early in the game where he was going to the basket, they just weren't falling for him and rolling around the rim. But yeah, it was. Those numbers for that game were a little odd.
Well, Fish, the thing is, and you bring that up because, I am admittedly I'm a Jaren guy. Like that's I just have I've been a huge proponent of him from the very beginning, and so I'm always in glass half full with Jaren, and it's if I could have one thing, I don't know what he has to do. I don't know whether he has to improve the strength, the lower half. I don't know what he's got to do, but if he can finish with more authority at the basket, those drives, because still Fish, he doesn't seem to get a lot of lift when he's bouncing off the run, off 1 foot. He doesn't really get a lot of lift, and he sort of gets stuck, and he has to take a lot more difficult shots. If he could find a way to fix that, I think everything else is because I mean, he's shooting career low splits, and he's still very productive. I think he's just 1 or 2 tweaks away from being a monster.
Yes, I agree with you. And Brevin says it a lot. I think a lot of times on those drives to the basket, it's just one more step.
Yep.
If he'd take just one more step, he'd have the leverage. He'd be closer to the basket, and because a lot of times that last step that he takes, he's a little off balance, and we see him go to the floor a lot. If he could just take one more step, he might be able to finish those a little bit better. But yeah, I think it's all just kind of the growing process of Jaren Jackson Jr. And I think what we've seen this year is that his defense can be elite, and it is elite. And now, that's kind of what we look at now more than what we look at offensively for Jaren. So he refines that part of his game just a little bit more. Yeah, he could be an absolute monster in this league, no doubt about it. And a guy who could be, I think, goes into next year as one of the contenders for Defensive Player of the Year. And then whatever he does offensively, you'd like to say it's just bonus, but he's a guy that he can give you 18 or 19 a game. So that's more than just bonus. That's relying on. And, I still believe, 2 years ago, Jaron and Ja, they're going to be the cornerstone of the franchise. I still believe they are. And I still believe there's room for growth for both of them.
Who's your MVP of the league?
I think Jokic. I mean, his numbers are just dominating.
Yeah.
And he's carrying this team. I mean, Embiid, I guess, but I think
Russell
Jokic,
Westbrook wasn't in the mix, or no, he didn't get there.
No,
it was close.
No, I didn't have him this year.
Okay, all right.
Most valuable to the Pelicans pick.
Yeah, but I think I'd go with Jokic as of right now.
Okay.
Just because of the way he's finishing the season, it's been unbelievable.
I'm with you. I love it. Tiger Woods drills his second shot on 13th to within about 15 feet for eagle for Tiger to get himself. He's got 15 feet for eagle on that 13th hole as he goes around Amen Corner at the Masters at Augusta.
What's his score? Where's he at?
He's at even
now?
par right now through the 12th hole. Solid par on the par 3, 12th now. In good position to potentially maybe gain 2 strokes or at least 1 on the field and get into those pivotal red numbers. We know Tiger is roaring around Augusta right about now.
Wow. That's unbelievable.
Rob Fisher, we appreciate it. We'll be watching from Denver, live from America's the Mile High
Arena.
City Ball Arena.
Ball Arena.
Sure. Okay, I'll go with it.
No more Pepsi Center. It's the Ball Arena.
That seems fine with me. Okay, all right. I remember back in McNichols Sports Center. That's where I wanted to get my business done when I was in Denver.
That's right.
All right, Rob Fisher, thank you.
All right, fellas.
Rob Fisher joining us live from Denver, Colorado. The Grizzlies to play the Nuggets tonight, 8 o'clock tip-off on Bally Sports and the old pregame Grizzlies live at 7:30 for Fish and the crew. So good stuff right there. And again, as we mentioned, Tiger Woods in position, maybe for a little eagle. If he gets that eagle, if he can eagle, I mean, woo! Crowd's gonna go nuts.
He's back.
He's back, baby. He looks good. So far, so good. I mean, looks just fine. He got a little bit of a limp, but nothing too crazy, and he's swinging the club just fine, making those putts as well. Because you know what the old saying goes.
What is?
You drive for show and you putt for dough.
What you do for these?
Hit it almost right.
Now you charge those.
Yeah, you charge.
Drive for show, putt for dough, and charge
these. Yeah,
that's how it works.
Yeah, that's how you do it.
Don't stay on y'all toes.
What's a tiger?
I got a popular
charging these. What's a tiger doing?
I got a popular, very popular golf opinion when we come back.
All right, we'll do that when we continue here. Real Sports Talk, Sports 56.
It would have been 8.
98.5.
But I don't know this year how much Deshaun Watson plays. Stefanski with a broken Mayfield is 19-14. That's with bad ownership and a quarterback that was hurt. Coach of the year 2 years ago. Stefanski's on the right side of the ball. They're 10. I would do Derek Carr, Josh McDaniels, 9. Now, you're saying Josh McDaniels failed. He's on the right side of the ball. Okay? I don't know how it'll be. This is a loaded offense. Quarterback, left tackle, running back, slot, tight end, wide receiver. I don't know how long he's going to last. But he's clever, he's learned, he's smart, and his issue was he went all in on Tebow.
All right, so I don't know what's going on. We got a little computer issue that we're trying to sort out. Yeah, Darren, you got to sort that out. That's number one. We got to get that figured out. I don't know why Colin Cowherd is talking. Doesn't make a lot of sense. Why are we doing that?
Ja Morant.
Ja Morant is the worst thing ever, I think. Listen to me. Terrible. Absolutely terrible. All right, so as we mentioned, of course, the Masters ongoing at Augusta, where Danny Willett, Cameron Smith, Sung Jae Im still they're now in your tied for the lead at 3 under par, and a whole host of guys at 2 under, and Tigers at even par and could get to 2 under.
Man, don't play with them.
With an eagle. Now, we talked about the Nuggets situation. Saint, has it changed for you? With regard to how you want to see things play out for the Grizzlies and who would end up at the 7th seed. because the Wolves really could have taken a huge advantage. The Nuggets lost to the Spurs the other night.
Mm-hmm.
Spurs locked up a spot in the play-in at the Lakers' expense. And if the Wolves had just been able to beat the Wizards, then they would have jumped up into the 6th spot to give themselves a chance to avoid the play-in altogether. Instead, they lost by like 20. And
Wizards just playing spoiler right now, man.
The Wizards are playing surprisingly well, and Porzingis is playing surprisingly well. But do you still have a preference from that situation?
I'll say this with more confidence now than I've said at any point during the season. I'm not worried about any of these teams, man. Phoenix is the only team that I'm concerned about. Like I don't think there's anyone in a potential matchup. I hear people talking about Dallas. I don't get it. I don't get the Minnesota stuff. Maybe it's just in the same confidence, but I'm okay with it. You know, I'm not worried about any of these matches. Bring them on! Bring them on! We're gonna run them. We're gonna get them up out of here. So, no, I don't care. I don't have a preference.
Well, and I don't. It shouldn't matter.
I know what I don't want to see. Let me take that back. I don't want to see healthy. I don't want to see Kawhi and Paul George out there.
I was gonna say,
that's the only one I don't want to screw around with.
That's the one.
Pardon me. Yeah.
That's the one I'm.
Forget all I just said. I do not want to see Paul George and evil Kawhi out there. So
some interesting stuff here to also throw in as the playoffs are rolling in. Toronto, the Raptors bring up a very interesting potential matchup for a number of reasons. Obviously, they've played well. They have Scotty Barnes, who's getting a lot of late love for Rookie of the Year contention, but also they happen to play in Canada. And Toronto, in particular, players have to be vaccinated in order to enter the country. You can't get into Canada unvaccinated.
Mm-hmm.
Well, some prominent players are, we know about Kyrie, but for example, the Philadelphia 76ers listed guard Matisse Thybulle as ineligible to play in tonight's game against the Raptors. Ineligible to play.
Why haven't we been hearing this all season, though?
Do what?
Why haven't we been hearing this all season?
I don't know. I mean, you probably have. Or
they just listed as something else.
They were probably listed as something else or whatever, but like it's now getting to the point where you kind of have to deal with this. And I know that the Celtics have a couple of players who are potentially problematic, including, depending on who you ask, some people say a couple of major players could be problem.
If I were to take a guess.
Could be a problem for them. Miami and Milwaukee, for what it's worth, are fully vaccinated. Everybody's fully vaccinated, so they're good to go. But obviously, Philly has got at least Matisse Thybulle, who is not.
If I were to take a guess on the Boston Celtics.
Jaylen Brown.
Of course.
I mean, Jalen X, clearly.
Wokeness kind of comes with the anti-COVID package sometimes. Not across the board, but it's a lot of crossover, a lot of bleed over.
There's some weird bedfellows because it also comes with like anti-wokeness as well. They also are anti-vax, and then super woke people sometimes are anti-vax also. So it almost like crosses over into like a circular kind of situation.
And then he's bizarro LeBron anyway. So whatever LeBron's on, he's probably going to take the opposite. Is LeBron vaccinated? I think he did.
I think he said he was. Pretty sure. What do you make of LeBron saying that he wants to play with Steph Curry? By the way,
man, LeBron is the thirstiest dude. I thought I put that on Twitter last night. I might have did. Like, man, that's just so thirsty, bro. Like, soon as your season's over, oh man, it's just Steph, man. If I could just play with Steph. Steph, please come play with me.
He sees
bro,
this thing
get out of here,
he sees this thing has turned into a disaster, and now he's just trying to no.
I'm a power to the players guy. Everyone knows that if it comes down to players versus the league, I'm going to take the players' side regardless. Players versus fans, I'm taking the players' side. But this stuff with LeBron, man, like, have some decency, bro. Like, at least wait until the offseason to start, doing all this type of talk. Because it wasn't just like fantasy talk. It sounded like, I literally want this to happen. Can this please happen over the offseason? And, of course, that doesn't mean Steph going to the Lakers. It's him trying to find a way to get over there with them. You know what I mean? So, disgusting, LeBron James.
Tiger Woods birdies the 13th hole, so he's back to 1 under par. Now heading into the 14th hole. Do you agree? You talked about it with Rob. Do you agree that the star player's not playing in a full complement of games, and that's a problem for?
Yeah, I don't like it, man. I don't like what. I really don't like what the Grizzlies are doing, man. That can come back and bite you. Like, you're playing all these. Yeah, you're winning games or whatever, but you're playing with all these weird lineups. And then you're going to go back to your normal lineups when the playoffs start. And I understand the Ja Parker. Ja has a legit injury that you want to make sure he's as close to 100% as possible when the playoffs start. But like the resting Jaren, this game, resting Bane, the playing tournament is going to buy these guys a nice little cushion. I think it's almost a week. Gives you almost a week off.
Mm-hmm.
You got that, man. Like, we don't need to. That can get sketchy, man. You know what I mean? That can get really squirrely really fast. When you just kind of just getting guys out of rhythm, like getting guys. We're a rhythm-based team. Like everyone's saying that because we're so rhythm-based, a lot of stuff that we're used to doing in the regular season is going to hurt us in the playoffs. And when you're getting out of what you normally do, even though you're winning, you kind of worry like, okay, all right, we need to do something that looks more like what our playoff lineups are going to look like.
I think so too. I mean, I think, and I understand that there are market forces and money forces and all that stuff, contracts and everything else that are problematic for teams to, limit and reduce the number of regular season games. And I think, Fish is right in that it's unlikely that you're going to see any league go down in a regular season number rather than up. If anything, you see like the NFL's gone to 17, probably going to try to go to 18 soon enough. You've seen, Major League Baseball has been at 162. It's 162 games, for God's sake. That's an insane number of games. The NBA 82. That's what it's been. Right. I can't imagine that it's reduced, but I just think from a quality standpoint, I heard our boy John going off on today's athletes, and people talking about today's athletes are this and that and soft and all this. I would disagree with a lot of folks. I think that today's athletes are as well conditioned as ever. I think that today's athletes are phenomenal, and on top of that, I think that today's athletes are asked to do more. Particularly when you watch an NBA game, this NBA is totally different than the NBA in years past. I mean, completely different. And it's you have defenses now can do things that they couldn't do before. You had illegal defense, which was prevented you from really hedging or anything. You had to do hard double or nothing. You have opportunities to play some zones, which you never had. You had opportunities to do all kinds of multiple defensive looks. You guys play in multiple positions, switch, do all kinds of stuff. It's like in the way they play defense and the effort they give is so much harder. I'll tell you that 100%. Like that's just a legit difference. So yeah, guys are playing and they're pushing their bodies. They're in better shape. They show up to training camp in shape. Used to be you use training camp to get in shape. Now guys are pretty much
better be in shape.
Right out of the gate, they're ready to go. They work their bodies really hard. So I don't know, man. I don't buy this whole thing about pampered athlete or whatever. Like I think teams are smart. As Fish said, the Grizzlies are one of the teams on the forefront of using technology to assess our guys close to getting hurt. What do they need to do? Like, come on, man. That's just smart.
Mm-hmm. That makes a lot of sense. You look at a guy like Isaiah Thomas. You know what I mean? Who ruined his body for the sake of I just got to win at all costs. And
Larry Bird.
And now he can't get back in the league. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
You got to be careful with that type of stuff.
Larry Bird only had like a 10-year career because his back was just he played hurt, he jacked his back up, and then he was
saw Grant Hill tear his body up. Penny Hardaway, not listening to. There was no technology at the time. But
you got to be smart about it, and I think we have to listen to these players and let them, let them be heard and let them be able to make their own determination about a lot of this stuff.
For legit injury concerns, I'm down with it, but the strategic saving guys to prevent an injury, that kind of loses me sometimes.
It does. But again, it goes back to you got to walk that line between taking care of guys in the regular season and then making sure they're ready for the postseason. Like you have to walk that. There's a fine line there that you have to walk. And the Grizzlies or anyone else, no one can be. No one can be blamed for making sure that you maximize your opportunities to win a championship. You can't blame the Grizzlies or anyone else for making sure that players are going to be healthy and ready to go when push comes to shove. There's just too many regular season games. There's just too many regular season games for the way they play and for what they're being asked to do and all that stuff. It's just the way it is. Right. So I mean, if Adam Silver wants stars to play more often, I realize that, teams that get 41 home games right now, and backing off on that number is going to be problematic. But I mean, couldn't you envision saying, how many teams sell out all those 41 games?
Not many.
Not many. Not many. Can't you envision if there's 36, let's say, because you have 72. Let's say you lot 10 off. So there's 5 fewer home games. Can you not envision that you could up the ticket price just a little bit to make up for that lost revenue? That you would be able to, and you'd be able to more or less guarantee that the product would be better as a result of that, because you guys would be more likely to play. If you could take even more games off, fine. But I mean, I'm just starting with a fairly conservative number. But man, I remember like when we've had these games, these regular season games where you have 2 or 3 days. There was a Warriors game in January. It was a big game for the Grizzlies at the time. There were like 2 or 3 days to prepare for it. We got to talk about it and prepare for it as if it were like a playoff game, and like you could really build up the excitement going into it. How often can you really build up excitement for a regular season NBA game? You're pretty much like tonight. Oh, they're playing the Nuggets. Like okay, like it's kind of on you. I think it would be better served to have a little more time between.
And I was joking yesterday about the whole virtual reality and the Oculus stuff, the all that stuff. Like that's a reality. That's coming to the NBA. Like you'll be able to sit at your house and have courtside seats. Yeah,
it's already there.
Like and that's something that I think I'm not really going to feel bad for a lot of teams because they're going to get that additional revenue from those type of sources. Because I heard it's free in the beta stages now, but it's coming where you're going to be paying a premium for that. And people are going to want to pay for it. So I think the league's going to make a lot of money off of that ability to do that. But I talked to someone one time, someone with the NBA, and they were saying in a perfect world, the NBA would have designated nights. Like with NFL, you have games on Sunday, you have games on Monday, you have games on Thursday. They was like in a perfect world, the NBA would have a schedule kind of like that where every Tuesday, 3 days a week you got NBA games and that's it.
I think that would make it extremely
that would be great.
Exciting for everybody. I think we got everything squared away. So now we're going to take our break a little late, come back, and we'll talk to Dustin Starr on the other side as we continue. Hour number 2, Real Sports Talk, Sports 56, 98.5.
You don't have to visit the coast for fresh seafood. Catch the coast in Memphis at the Great Hunter Crab, 8325 Highway 64 next to the Wolf Chase Mall. Great Hunter Crab is a Cajun seafood restaurant specializing in the freshest seafood. Their unique blend of spices and sauces pairs perfectly with fish, shrimp, lobster, scallops, and crabs. Not a seafood lover? Try the soup, salads, catfish, and chicken. Great Hunter Crab open Monday through Sunday for lunch, dinner, and even catering. Try the signature drinks like the Lost at Sea or the Shipwreck. Visit the coast today. Great Hunter Crab, 8325 Highway 64 next to the Wolf Chase Mall.
It's been said that the world always looks brighter from behind a smile. So why not let my friend, Dr. Mehdi Sadeghi, and his friendly staff at the Smile Center Memphis help brighten up your world. The Smile Center is a local family dentistry located in Germantown, specializing in cosmetic crown veneers, teeth whitening, and Invisalign clear braces, all with free consultation and second opinions. New patients are welcome, and if you don't have dental insurance, don't frown. They have an in-office plan to fit your specific needs. Same-day emergency service available as well. Give Mehdi a call, 309-1333, or visit their website at smilecentermemphis.com.
You've heard of James Gaddis Jewelers, but have you heard what they've done lately? Everything. A tremendous selection of diamonds and jewels, gold, silver, and much more. Lots of watches, tons of custom-made jewelry, fine gemstones, bracelets, necklaces, so many choices. Romantics will love the one-of-a-kind estate and vintage jewelry. James Gaddis has experts to help you with wedding and engagement rings, plus 2 repair experts for fine watches and jewelry. Layaway and financing available. James Gaddis Jewelers at 4900 Poplar.
We are Sports 56 WHBQ Memphis and W253DF Memphis, Flynn Broadcasting Stations. Now, back to Sports 56 Grind Time. Here once again are Peter Edmiston and Anthony Sane.
There we go. All right, it's been one of those days.
Yeah, man.
We got to jump right into our friend Dustin Starr here at the beginning of hour number 2 because we've got a whole bunch on the docket. Dustin Starr, good afternoon, man. How are you?
Oh, yeah, I'm doing good, man. It has been a very busy week, heading into a busy weekend. A lot of stuff going on. Baseball, Grizzlies, Memphis Wrestling's live this weekend, and then also the next weekend we have back-to-back shows, Ripley, Tennessee, Memphis, Tennessee. Dude, can we put anything else on the plate?
I don't know, but we're going to try our best over the next.
We're going to try
15 minutes or so with you. What did you make of WrestleMania as a whole?
If you did not think that WrestleMania was fun and good and better than last year, then
give me
I
a
don't know
hell
what
yeah!
you're watching.
Give
me a hell yeah! I thought it was so much fun. I thought it was really, really good. Stone Cold Steve Austin, Cody.
What about that
Charlotte,
stunner? What about that great stunner, huh? On Mr. McMahon.
You know, I read online that's probably like a rib on Steve because historically Vince always took the worst stunner, but that one was almost
off the charts. That one was off the charts bad. That was hilarious.
You could see Austin kind of grinning and
he was
smiling
laughing.
and kind of laughing. Yeah. He was probably half drunk, but then also having a lot of fun too.
Yeah. How many? I mean, he must have gone through a case with Kevin Owens. I thought Steve looked amazingly good for a guy who'd been out for 19 years, hadn't had a match. Like, I had pretty low expectations, but I thought especially after the first 2 or 3 minutes when he kind of got his rhythm back, like he was looking. He looked like himself pretty much. I thought he looked pretty darn good.
Yeah, a couple things there. The suplex on the floor.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, you see these guys talking in the middle of the ring. You're like, there's no way they're going off the air with this little talk show on WrestleMania. So when the challenge was made, oh my gosh, I'm like here for it. And then the suplex on the floor, when Kevin Owens suplexed Steve Austin on the floor, I kind of gasped a little bit like, oh no, that's a tough bump, man. That hurts. And, Steve, with the history of his neck and all that kind of stuff, I was like, whoa, man, he's really going all out. And then with the beer drinking, I've never seen somebody that could catch beer cans like Stone Cold can.
Yeah, it's crazy. He don't drop them.
And, and I know that people say, he's spilling most of it, but the beers that he has are his Stone Cold beers. Those are like 16 ounces. And he must have gone through 50 of them over the course of those 2 days of WrestleMania. The dude had to be feeling something. So that was just a really, really good moment for WWE, and also to have Stone Cold come back and stun, after night one with Kevin Owens, come back and not only interact with Vince, but then Pat McAfee. What a WrestleMania did Pat McAfee have? Pinch this dude. Man, have him go to the casino and play or something, because think about it. He wrestled at WrestleMania, which is a childhood dream already. Mm-hmm. He interviewed Vince. And then after the match, Vince McMahon, the chairman, takes his jacket off and has a match with you. Wait, we're not done yet. Not done yet. Stone Cold comes out and drinks a beer with you and gives you the stunner. Like, he had all of his WrestleMania moments all in his first year.
and he had I think the best stunner sell was the Austin Theory.
Oh, it was great.
Austin Theory was an incredible. His stunner sell was.
Oh yeah, he did like
bounced
around
like a pinball and double flip. I love the oversell of the stunner. It's becoming
that was like The Rock.
Yeah, oh yeah, and since Shawn Michaels would bust it through the roof, boing, like a Super
flip
Bowl.
over the ring. Oh.
No, and some of the spots that McAfee did. I mean, the back flip off top rope and then leaping,
landed on his feet.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Pat McAfee had to have, the moment he landed it, had to, number one, feel like Superman. But on the inside, he had to be so proud.
Oh man.
To hit that at WrestleMania, because you only have one take, man. Oh, it was just really good. His intro with the cowboy cheerleaders and the theme song that he had with the white stripes, the fans were really into it. Man, Pat McAfee was a star.
He had some juice.
WrestleMania, man.
Surprising amount of juice for him from an athletic point of view. The thing, I thought it was a fun show. By the way, Tiger Woods bogeying the 14th hole. So giving one back after getting to -1, now back to even par. I thought the show again. I'm old, so I think that 2 days is crazy, and how many hours? It's nuts. Too much. But the downside of that is that, and I'm still just baffled by this. Okay, you have what you have billed as the biggest championship match ever, That's the billing. Like, this is the most important, the biggest match in WrestleMania history, with Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar, and you unifying the Universal title and the WWE title. And you have, 2 full days to do this. You have 10 hours probably total. How does that match get like 8 minutes with like nothing but like spots and ending spots? How do you not book that as it just felt super flat to me as a main event, like epic match.
Yeah. I know why. I mean, we all know why. I mean, if you put Roman and Brock out there, for 20 plus minutes and they're not fighting in the crowd and all over the building or something, then it's probably not going to be a good technical wrestling match.
But you just can't bill it as that. You can't bill it as that and then just sort of just kind of go blurk.
That's
and,
marketing.
I don't know. Just
I mean, that's the marketing on it. The big, like the greatest wrestling match ever of all time or whatever with Orton and Edge. I mean, everybody hated that. And from what I hear, everybody hates the fact that it was the most stupendous WrestleMania of all time. But it's people talking about it.
Yeah.
And so, of course, they had to bill it as the biggest match ever. And, 8 minutes. I don't know if I'd want to. I mean, basically, they'd be chopping wood otherwise, if they. But yeah, it should have definitely. They should be able to go longer than 8 minutes. Somebody else asked me the same thing.
The thing is, it's not even the going. Like, okay,
it's suplexes.
Yeah,
it's all
like
suplexes.
Yeah, if you're going 8, like, okay, so I could understand if you're going 8 minutes or you're going shorter, if there's a reason for it, or like the match kind of, you catch a surprise finish or something like that. But when you come out of the gate and it's like, Superman punch. F5, suplex, Superman punch, spears. Like, all we're doing is finishing move, high spot. It's just, I don't know, man. I need that's like a musical act coming out and like playing a medley of their top hits for like 10 minutes, and then we're done with the concert, folks. Good night, everybody. Like, I don't know. You got to kind of pace it a little bit. Like, it's the fireworks show lasts for 30 minutes, not for 1 minute of all just.
Yeah, I think the match that stole the show was Bianca and Becky.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was fantastic. I thought Charlotte and Ronda was really, really well done. I did not know that they were going to. Yeah, I didn't know that Charlotte would win that match, but the way it was done and everything. Ric Flair, he tweeted out that match changed the game. Those were really, really good matches. I stand corrected on the Johnny Knoxville thing. I know you guys probably hated it, but I thought it was entertaining.
Yeah, me too.
They did
I thought it was going to be crap, man.
They could.
No, it wasn't. It was entertaining.
I did not even want to see it. I had no interest in it at all. But when Wee Man came out and Party Boy came out, and I've watched Jackass. Now I haven't watched it in a long time, but I'm familiar with it and know their little characters and what they do, and they incorporated everything perfectly. And Sami Zayn does not get enough credit. He's not one of my favorite wrestlers, just because I like. As a fan, I like a different type of wrestler, or I guess whatever. But he is so good. He literally helped.
Mm-hmm.
He kept that whole thing together. He's the only one with experience out of all those people. And I'm thinking of all the people that was in there. Him and the referee were the only two with experience doing what they were doing. So it's very impressive. It's really entertaining. I thought it was going to suck.
I've got 2 bones to pick, 1 small bone, 1 huge bone, and I had 1 thing that I definitely was impressed with. Which order you wanted me?
You just hit me with them, brother.
All right, my small bone to pick. A couple years ago, right before COVID hit, I'm at Minglewood Hall. I go see an NXT match. Didn't know any of the wrestlers at the time. This beautiful woman from Knoxville, Tennessee comes out with a long weave braid in her hair, and she slaps her hip to the crowd. I was mesmerized ever since. Dustin Starr. I followed this woman on Twitter, and I added her about how I was mesmerized by her, and she liked my tweet. And ever since then, I felt like I had some type of attachment to this lady.
Yes.
All right, now the bone I had to pick is she slapped her hip twice at WrestleMania, and they cut away from it 2 times. Call your people and fix that. Dustin. That should never happen. I know it happened because I look for it. I come waiting for the hip slap. I come waiting to see her where she does a little move where she slaps her hip twice, and she did it 2 times, and they like clipped it out twice. Call your people.
Maybe it was too hot for WrestleMania.
Maybe so, man. That's my first bone to pick. Second bone to pick. I don't like what Cody Rhodes did, man. You can't be that dude and then turn into that dude. And he literally kissed the ring. Like Just like him symbolically bringing out the throne and the sledgehammer, all those things were symbolically in the attack towards Triple H and WWE. He symbolically kissed the ring when he came back on Sunday. I had a major problem with it.
Man, I thought what Cody did on Sunday, and especially what he did on Monday, he put a lot of money in his pocket. So that promo was so good on Monday night, incorporating the American Dream and the storytelling and the picture and, talking about the championship. So WWE has no choice at this point. He is in the title picture. They need to deliver. He is a superstar. You want to talk about making new stars? Cody left the WWE and went and made himself a star, and then they paid to have him come back. He's in a perfect spot. Now all they got to do is cash in on it. You need a new star in the main event. There he is. I just thought the promo was so freaking good and so personal. It's like a personal story.
But me personally, like someone who's a very casual fan who's trying to get more into it now, when you come out and you say, it always appeared to me that the NXT thing was Cody. It was like his thing. Like like he was almost like the leader of this revolution against the WWE. And then to see him go back to the WWE, and it was the kiss in the ring part for me, man. I just couldn't get with it. But I'm going to move on from that, short on time.
Oh, man.
I'm going to tell you what I did love, and I hope the WWE really goes all in to make this happen. That dude, Logan Paul, man, that dude got the juice, man, to be like a real – I would leave the boxing – well, the boxing makes him way more money. He's probably making WWE. But he could be a full-timer in WWE and be ridiculous, man. He's got the heel appeal he's got. Yeah, man.
He's it. He's the it. He was perfect. The Miz was perfect. Everything from his gear, the entrance, having the Pokemon card around his neck that's worth, $5 million or whatever he said. I mean, he got in there, and much like Bad Bunny, we talk about these celebrities all the time that don't take it seriously. Bad Bunny delivered, but goodness gracious, Logan Paul was fantastic. And the turn at the end where the Miz gave the finish to Logan, turned on Logan Paul, I think we're going to see that match at SummerSlam. Yep. So Logan took it very, very seriously, did his training, and he looked like he belonged in the WWE ring. So with his popularity, I say popularity, but I haven't met anybody that actually likes the guy. He's like the best heel ever.
Oh, he's got notoriety, I think is the right word. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he's just notoriety, and so they can absolutely have, 2 to 3 high quality matches to bring him in, and he would be, I'm sure get a really good return on the investment. But he delivered at WrestleMania. He was fantastic.
It's really, really hard to have real heels in today's day and age, and he's one of them that I think he can absolutely do that. Real quick, because I know we're running a little bit short today. Tell us about what's coming up this weekend and what's coming up with live action for Championship Wrestling from Memphis and so much more.
Oh man, this Sunday is going to be the match of all matches. The Murder Hawk Monster, Lance Archer, the AEW superstar, is coming back to Memphis Wrestling, and he's going one-on-one with the Memphis Heritage Champion, the Gun Show Bret Michaels, the biggest guy on our roster. These two guys are colliding, and the championship is on the line. So the question is can the Murder Hawk Monster capture the Memphis Heritage Championship? What would he do with it? Is he taking it to AEW? That means he's got to come back to defend it. Or can the Gun Show Bret Michaels defend the home turf and defeat the Murder Hawk Monster and retain his championship? So that's the story. The tickets are at championshipwrestlingmemphis.com. It's going to be a packed house, loaded roster with a lot of chaos. So I would not miss this week's show. And then next week I'll tell you about the other stuff coming up because we got some back-to-back shows. You can get all the information at championshipwrestlingmemphis.com.
Can't wait to be the I guess the biggest win of the Gun Show's career. I mean, that's a huge feather in your cap.
Yeah.
If you take a guy like him down, that'd be fantastic. Can't wait to see it this weekend. Check it out at the Wrestle Center. Dustin, thanks, man.
Thank you, guys.
Dustin Starr joining us on the program, and now we head over to Augusta, where the Masters is going on. We've got a red-hot competitor at the top of the leaderboard. They'll tell you who that is, who that gentleman may be. And, of course, we've got Tiger still lurking, still prowling the course. All of that happening at Augusta, the Masters.
Here we go.
Right here, Sports 56, 98.5.
From the Augusta National Golf Club, Westwood One Sports presents this special report on the Masters. I'm Ted Emmerich. Scotty Scheffler was sizzling like a skillet of fajitas entering this week. 3 wins in the last 5 starts. Now the top-ranked golfer in the world. Scheffler not showing any signs of slowing down.
He's putting through the speckled shadows, tall pine trees on the hillside behind this 12th green, and I think it makes this putt just a little bit more difficult to read, especially since there's just a subtle break in it from left to right. Sends the ball down the hill to the hole. Pretty good pace on its way and right over the front lip. Scotty Scheffler joins the party at 3 under par.
John McGinnis, the call on Sirius XM. The Dallas native Scheffler was tied for the lead until Cameron Smith made birdie at 14 to take the solo lead at 4 under. Tiger Woods is 4 back. You're listening to coverage of the 2022 Masters on Westwood One.
The following message was paid for by Superior Home Buyers. Do you need to sell your home fast? Call Superior Home Buyers. We'll give you a cash offer in as little as 24 hours. Call for a free cash offer now. 800-537-4898. 800-537-4898.
This is a metaphor for your business's journey. Sometimes it feels like you're going 100 miles an hour, barely keeping up. But to cruise through challenges, you need someone who's right there with you. That's what Dell Technologies advisors do. They have the Windows PCs and tech advice you need to get past whatever's in front of you and get where you want to go. Call an advisor today at 877-ASK-DELL. That's 877-ASK-DELL. A start to a simpler experience with Windows 11 Pro.
Are you stuck in a timeshare you want out of? Call Titan Exit Group now. Get a free consultation on how to legally cancel your timeshare. 100% guaranteed. Call for free info now. 800-200-0894. That's 800-200-0894.
Tiger Woods sporting a pink mock turtleneck and black pants, favoring his right leg a bit, especially when he half crouches to read putts. But Woods is playing well in his return from the car accident last year. Let's check the leaderboard, sponsored by Dell. For your small business needs, call a Dell Technologies advisor today at 877-ASK-DELL. Tiger even par through 14. He just missed a par putt from within 10 feet and dropped a shot there. 4 behind the leader, Cameron Smith from Australia, the Players champion from last month, 4 under through 14. He's got a birdie look at hole number 15 now, trying to separate even more from Danny Willett, Daniel Berger, Joaquin Niemann, Scotty Scheffler, and Sung J M. All are 3 under, 1 back at the moment. At 2 under par, Jason Kokrak and 2011 Masters champion Charles Schwartzel. At 1 under, there's Harry Higgs in the clubhouse with a 1 under 71. Cameron Champ still on the course at 1 under. From Augusta, I'm Ted Emmerich, Westwood One Sports.
This Masters Update has been brought to you by Ronald Bubba Sandifer, Emmett Baird Realty, the Courage Through Cancer 5K, May 21st at Shelby Farms, Wedgwood Golf Club, Bob Simpson State Farm Agency, and Mid-South Wellness in Eastgate.
You have opinions?
Like a splinter in your mind, driving you mad.
We want to hear them. Call or text us on the AutoZone listener line at 360-8255. That's the AutoZone listener line at 901-360-8255.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Do you want a greener, more weed-free lawn? If you're like me, you can't stand the sight of dandelions, clover, or especially crabgrass. Hi, I'm Brandon Hawley, president of Lawn Solutions. We are your locally owned and operated weed control and fertilization company. We are also experts in disease and insect control on your lawn and landscape. Our uniformed technicians are full-time, year-round licensed and certified by the state of Tennessee. Lawn Solutions' personalized service is far more superior to that of national companies that promise but simply cannot deliver. We return phone calls, we keep appointments, and we want your business. What we will not do is bother you with endless phone calls or junk mail. Lawn Solutions will not sell you something your lawn doesn't need. If you're looking for a local lawn care company to kill your weeds and feed your grass, then Lawn Solutions is the finest. Call us at 867-5626. That's 867-5626. Or go online at LawnSolutionsInc.net. From our family to yours, we want to thank you for your business.
DQ presents. Picture this. You stand before the awe-inspiring new signature stack burger menu at DQ and your mouth wonders, where have you been all my life? That's 5 taste bud tempting cheeseburgers with 100% real seasoned beef. You peek at the loaded A1 stack burger with 2 premium sauces. Then the flamethrower stack burger with tongue-tingling jalapeno bacon. Then you realize moments like these are exactly why we have the DQ signature stack burger menu. DQ. Happy tastes good. Get it delivered at DQ.com.
Simple, smooth, and every sip as easy as the last. Tito's handmade vodka tastes just as good with tap water as it does with your favorite mixer. Back in the day, Tito distilled, hand bottled, taste tested, sent to a few friends, then taste tested again to give you the finest juice around. No frills, no flavors, no fancy labels, just the good stuff. Just Tito's. For recipes, videos, and more, visit Tito'sVodka.com.
Distilled and bottled in Austin, Texas, 40% alcohol by volume, namely 80 proof, crafted to be savored responsibly.
Let's say you need a new car, so you go to a dealer, right? Wrong. You need to go to Mount Moriah Auto Sales. Why? Because why limit yourself to just one kind of car when you can choose from all kinds of cars, SUVs, and trucks? All different years, all different makes, all different models. Really good prices, too. Now, everyone says that about the money, but Mount Moriah Auto Sales proves it. They work hard to get you the deal you want, even financing. Plus, they have a huge full-service department to help you take care of your car. So many choices at Mount Moriah Auto Sales. They're almost unlimited, with new vehicles coming in every day. Now, these are really good cars and trucks and SUVs that you'll want to drive. And yes, low miles too. It's so easy. Just go to Mount Moriah Auto Sales, tell them what you want, but keep your eyes open because you might just find the car of your dreams. Mount Moriah Auto Sales makes it all possible. Go to MountMoriahAutoSales.com. Mount Moriah Auto Sales, right on the corner, right on the price, right on Mount Moriah.
Now, back to Sports 56 Grind Time. Here once again are Peter Edmiston and Anthony Sain.
Best music in wrestling, man.
I like that Rick Boogs intro with the little guitar and all. That was cool. I like that.
Just unnecessarily swole, dude.
Yeah. Looked like if Freddie Mercury got
jacked up
on the road.
He looks like Mike Hager from Final Fight.
Like the mayor, you got my
you
dog.
Remember Haggard from Final Fight?
I put so many quarters.
Yeah.
So many quarters in that game.
One of the great plot lines.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So what happens?
Oh, they had the best.
I never beat it. First of all, let me go back to this.
Go ahead.
Let me go back to this. So, I'm just thinking about when we were kids. Like you're playing Double Dragon.
Yeah.
Okay. Similar game to Final Fight.
Mm-hmm.
Brothers, woman gets kidnapped.
Yeah.
Women are always getting kidnapped in these games. Like whether it's Princess.
Didn't have a part two.
Whether it's
like, man, why are you getting kidnapped so much?
But everyone getting kidnapped in these games. But anyway, the first scene of this game that children are to be playing is what? A gentleman walking out of a room, punching the lady in the stomach, and then carrying him out. What are we doing?
Yeah.
It's like you're 7 years old and you're watching this guy.
You're traumatized by
You
it.
can't show that.
Yeah.
You can't do that.
Oh, no. That was not the most traumatizing part of those games, though. Easily it was the continue screen.
Oh,
Whenever the guy was like sitting in a chair, like
he got like tied up,
and like there was like a wick. It's like he's about to get blown up or something.
Yeah.
And it's like trickling down to his head, and it's like, oh, crap.
And then the final fight, the mayor. But what mayor? What mayor is that Jack?
Kane.
It's like Batista. Kane is a mayor, and he's not even that Jack.
Right.
Like Mayor Bobby Lashley is out here, like what?
Swole.
Like just insanely swole, and it's like we have your daughter. Like so he says, I'm gonna go to the streets.
You want to rob?
I'm gonna go to the streets and start beating
everybody.
Yeah,
prostitutes, drug dealers, whoever. You get these hands.
Like what kind of plot is that?
Oh, such a great game.
Did you guys play Bad Dudes?
Yeah,
all that.
I was a bad.
Are you a bad enough dude to rescue the president? That's what it said on the front. In fact, that's what if you look at my Twitter top screen, it's a parody of that. It says, "Are you bad enough dude to love yourself?"
I never beat that game either.
No, because it was
Final Fight. Was my
Bad
game.
Dudes was like a bootleg Final Fight. Like, Bad Dudes wouldn't.
I got some Final Fight history for y'all. I bet you gentlemen didn't know.
Okay.
Final Fight was it was originally called Street Fighter 2. Street Fighter, whatever year it came out.
Yeah.
But people were like, no, this is not Street Fighter, so try again. Because they were going to make Street Fighter a side scroller. So they had to go back to the drawing board. Then they came out with the actual Street Fighter 2, which changed the fighting game genre as we know it.
So there you go.
But Final Fight was originally the second Street Fighter.
That's right. That's exactly right. See? We learn, we live and learn.
The more you
Glad they changed it.
I mean, this man's punching a woman. And like, what are we doing? Like, this is not. You can't show that. Cameron Smith birdieing 16 now to go to 6 under par. The
stomping these dudes.
The mulleted Australian is running away with it right now with a 2-shot lead early on. Now, obviously, a lot can change between now and then. Joaquin Niemann trying to make a birdie putt on 15. Tiger Woods on 15 as well. Rory McIlroy on the course is already 1 under par through 3, but Cameron Smith is your leader at 6 under par at the Masters. Sung Jae Im at 4 under. Scotty Scheffler, Danny Willett, Daniel Berger among those at 3 under par. We appreciate all the Masters updates brought to you by Mid-South Wellness and Eastgate Shopping Center, Bob Simpson State Farm Agency, Wedgwood Golf Club, Ronald Bubba Sandifer, Emmett Baird Realty, and Courage Through Cancer's 5K on May 21st over at Shelby Farms. Did you see that the Brian Flores lawsuit against the NFL has been now joined by a couple of other coaches? And this is a lawsuit that's been ongoing for a little bit, in which many things are alleged, but it's a racial discrimination lawsuit essentially against the NFL. And Steve Wilks has joined Ray Horton as well. Steve Wilks, you remember, the 1-season head coach at Arizona before being dismissed in place of Cliff Kingsbury. And they said that he never had a chance to succeed. So they're filing lawsuits against the league, and then specifically against the Dolphins, Broncos, Giants, Texans, Titans, and the Cardinals, plus 26 other John Doe NFL teams. Who I wonder who those teams could be. So keep an eye on this. There are some interesting parts of the discovery that are coming in, including more fleshing out of the allegation that the Dolphins were among the teams that were endorsing and were trying to make it profitable for Brian Flores to tank. They were trying to get out there and help him profit from losing games. Not something that you should normally do.
But Peter, I'm trying not to go here. I'll just keep it surface level. I'm a fan of sports and not leagues. I wish that some prominent minorities with some money would just take a major risk and start an alternative league, man, and just see what happens. You get any kind of network support. You get a couple players to jump ship, and it can happen.
I don't think so. Not in the NFL's case. I would love for it to happen, but I don't see it.
I'd love to see somebody just be bold enough to try.
Well, they are. I mean, the XFL, but even the XFL and the Rock and all that, they're not. They're working with the NFL. No one's trying to compete head on with the NFL because it's a juggernaut. I can't do it. Unfortunately,
it's a juggernaut.
I
hate it.
I just think one of the things that's interesting though about some of the information that's out here in this allegation, they're talking a lot about sham rules and sham Rooney rules and sham enforcement of racial the idea that the NFL wants to endorse and it wants to push interviews with black candidates and wants to try to make it so that they have opportunities and are ensured legitimate opportunities. The part of this lawsuit alleges that that's all BS, that's all sham in the case of a lot of that, and that you're not seeing that from the NFL and from some of these teams. The Titans, interestingly enough, are part of have kind of been roped into this now because of some of the things that have been discussed. Ray Horton, defensive coordinator for the Titans in 2014-15, interviewed for the team's head coaching job. Lawyer said he was given a completely sham interview, done only to comply with the Rooney Rule and to demonstrate an appearance of equal opportunity and a false willingness to consider a minority candidate for the job. The Titans hired Mike Mularkey, who was white, and Horton left to be the defensive coordinator in Cleveland. Now he is now retired. Mularkey, who had been the team's interim head coach for the final 9 games of the 2015 season, said in a podcast a couple of years ago that the Titans owners told him he was going to get the job before they'd completed the interview process, including interviewing Horton and one other minority candidate. Mularkey's comments were in response to a question about his regrets during his career. The comments take on new relevance since this lawsuit was filed back in February. And so he said, these are the quotes that he said. He said, I've always prided myself on doing the right thing in this business, and I can't say that's true about everybody in this business. It's a very cutthroat business, and a lot of guys will tell you that. I allowed myself at one point when I was in Tennessee to get caught up in something I regret and still regret it. But the ownership there, Amy Adams Strunk and her family, came in and told me I was going to be the head coach in 2016 before they went through the Rooney Rule. And so I sat there knowing I was the head coach in 16 as they went through this fake hiring process. Knowing a lot of the coaches they were interviewing, knowing how much they prepared to go through those interviews, knowing that everything they could do and they had no chance of getting that job. Actually, the GM, John Robinson, was in on the interview with me. He had no idea why he was interviewing me, that I had the job already. I regret. I'm sorry I did that.
Man, it's not much that makes me like legit angry about sports, but that kind of stuff, it's just save us, P. Diddy, somebody. Because I get what you're saying about the NFL as a giant, but it's the players, man. If you get enough players to say, hey, we're sick of this, hey, what kind of money y'all got? All right. If they can find a way to make it happen, make something happen, how long are we gonna have to deal with that, man? Like, for real. Like, this is so unacceptable, man. Like, it's such a joke.
I mean, you think about that again. The ownership.
The players are good enough for you, but these guys can't coach.
No, exactly.
Like, make that make sense.
And ownership saying, like, you know, oh yeah, you're gonna get the job now. We're gonna have to interview a lot of these guys. We're gonna go through all these interviews and a couple black guys and stuff. But we just have to do that. You know. But really, it's gonna be.
And it'll never change. The ownership will never change.
And that's ultimately what it comes down to is the ownership aspect of it. I mean, you know, we could talk about all these, you know, rules and issues and things like that. But again, go back to the NFL. They have to, you think about how ingrained this discrimination is in the league, that they have to actually compensate you, and they have to make it so that you will lose a draft pick if you don't legitimately interview at least one minority candidate.
Joke, man.
Like, that's like, how bad are we? You have to. Just
get rid of the whole
the way
thing,
that you
man.
do it.
Just get rid of the whole thing because it's not real. Like, it's a bunch of nonsense.
Has that happened yet, Pete? Has someone forfeited that?
No.
No one has actually not done it. Okay.
No, because
it's nothing to do.
It's a sham anyway. But like, you know, how do you? I mean, ultimately, it is better for, you know, those, you know, minority coaches to get those opportunities in those interviews. But at the end of the day, if people aren't, if they're not in the mind of trying to actually give them an opportunity, then
they're just lit in the room.
Like, how does that really happen? Like, what really changes as a result of that? Like, if you don't really, in your heart of hearts, believe that somebody is legitimately worthy, then, you know, making them go through this sham interview isn't going to change that. You know, if you have this intent in your mind and you think that these guys aren't worthy of it, and you're going to try to force them, and you're going to try to motivate them, you know, it just can't work. I mean, there's just too many people that are, unfortunately, they got some deep-grained discrimination, and they have money, and so they are in the. I mean, look at Daniel Snyder again. This guy's can own a team, and he's just a demonstrably terrible person.
How you feel about the Pete Carroll comments?
Which ones?
He challenged the owners about the minority hirings. Was that like Monday?
I mean, they don't give a crap.
Yeah, the ownership will say whatever they want. You know, when push comes to shove, they are the ones who have the money. They're the ones who have the oomph. They're the ones that can choose to emphasize the things that they want to emphasize. And right now,
and just like Deadspin, there's an article in Deadspin about what Pete Carroll said. He has to include himself in it. He benefited from this type of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Of course,
Mularkey, he benefited from. Go get your job back then. if you felt that bad about it, why did you take the job, man? You know what I mean? Why didn't you say something back then? Like, all that stuff is just nonsense to me.
Yeah,
these kind of segments make me so uncomfortable. I hate this stuff, man. Oh my God.
Well, I mean, I don't want to make you uncomfortable.
No, you good, bro.
But it's important to.
We got to talk about it.
It's just important. It's important to talk about because it's so obviously messed up. And those comments from Mike Mularkey, again, it shows you that the game is rigged. You know, the game has been rigged from the beginning, and it's incredible how you can have a bunch of players, a league that's majority black in terms of the player population, but have it be so difficult for black men and women to be in positions of power, whether that be in ownership or whether that be on the field. And that's got to change. There's got to be an incentive that's legitimately, there, that's real for these guys to make meaningful change. And there just isn't right now. The fines, the draft pick, whatever, it's not enough because this stuff is ingrained in them.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not about what you know, it's about who you know. And that's true in most jobs, but really in the NFL, look at how many sons and daughters of, are in the league and all this. It's all family businesses and all this stuff. Like, how's that going to change? How are you going to get, minority involvement in this? And it's just sad because it just sucks for them that, think about those dudes, man. You work your ass off to get in a position where you can get an interview as a head coach, and it's a sham.
Mm-hmm.
It's literally a sham. Like, it's already the decision has actually. We kind of think, yeah, it's a sham, but you think in the back of your mind, hey man, maybe if you just really knock the interview out of the park, maybe they'd give you an opportunity. But in this case, it was literally done. It was a done deal. There was nothing to even. There was no job open. It's disgraceful.
Peter, there was always a kid in the neighborhood who you would use this basketball when you play the pickup game. This is Memphis, so everything goes back to basketball. Mm-hmm. There's always a kid in the neighborhood that you would play you would play, and he would bring his basketball. Mm-hmm. That's the ball you would play with. Yep. And when things didn't go well, ball. Right, he had the good leather ball. You know what I mean? That he bought at Champs.
Mm-hmm. It wasn't rubber. It was leather.
Good leather bound that he bought at Champs. $50 ball.
Mm-hmm.
But when things wouldn't go that certain kid's way, he'll take his ball and he'd leave, and the game would be over. And that's when the rest of us would say, all right, let's pony up and just go buy some balls for our own freaking balls. 'Cause, you know what I mean? And until that happens, this is the way it's going to be, man. It's a dead point. Like, you can't legislate racism. Like, there's nothing you can do to change a man's heart and change a man's mind. And like I said, until we create our own thing, that's why I get so excited about the HBCU stuff. If we're being treated unfairly, we've got to put our resources together and be willing to sacrifice even to get our own thing going, man, where things be handled the right way. Because you can't continue to tell us that you're good enough to be the most superior athletes in the world and to make all this money for television, all this money for these owners, all this money for these coaches, executives, all these people, but you're not good enough to be anything other than a product on the field. Like, that can't always be the narrative.
Well,
it makes me so mad.
It comes down, and honestly, it comes down to control. It comes down to comfort and control. And there's a certain level of comfort that most owners and most white people in these positions of power have with where black people are. Like, I'm comfortable seeing black people as players. I'm comfortable seeing black people in those positions. I'm comfortable seeing maybe some black assistant coaches. I'm comfortable, with some guys here and there. I'm not comfortable seeing them have actual power. I'm not comfortable with a black general manager. I'm not comfortable with a black owner. And those comfort situations are what hamper this whole deal and hold people back. They can't get comfortable with those situations. It's about control. Who's really calling the shots.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a zero-sum game. And by that I mean there's only 32 teams. There's only 32 positions that are general managers. There's only 32 head coaching positions. There's only 32 ownership positions. So of those 96 positions, however many that are held by white people, if they aren't held by a black person, that's one fewer white person that holds it. Now, at some point, people aren't going to be comfortable with that. The ones that are sitting in power.
Mm-hmm.
And, as you said, are you going? You're upset about it? Are you going to give up your job? Because that's what it comes. And the answer is no, obviously. So how do you it's hard to force that. It's hard to force that unless you do your own thing or find other way. It's hard to. It's hard to. And that's why the thing that annoys me the most about the NFL is that they're just so full of crap. Like, they don't own anything. They don't own any of their nonsense. They don't own any of their BS. And it's obvious that they don't.
And I've said a lot of times that a lot of stuff with Coach Hardaway that you hear here in Memphis, a lot of the African American community, a lot of the black community, we defend Penny Hardaway because we know that there is a shorter leash for black coaches. Like that's real, man. I'm not going to talk about this and be fake. Like I understand why a lot of black people defend Penny Hardaway the way that we do, the way that they do, because they feel like black coaches get a shorter leash. And I get it, man. You know what I mean? Even when I come in here and I get my jokes off, I understand. But I understand the reality of it is it's just not how it works. Like there's nothing like me joking or me like being displeased with how Penny's coaching. That's not gonna keep or take away his job. Like that's just not how it works.
No.
But I get it though, man, because it's such. I talked to a national NBA reporter. He said he was talking about just black coaches in the league, how our leash is so short, and like for instance, we talked about the Steve Nash thing. Like, why is Steve Nash not getting criticized for being a garbage coach? When we had guys like Tyronn Lue who, that guy's not good. He's just he's got a super team. But you never heard that about Steve Nash, and they suck. Tyronn Lue went to the Clippers, and that team didn't have Kawhi Leonard, didn't have Paul George, and they're still right there in the playoffs. You know what I mean? In the play-in. They're a top 8. If there was no play-in, they'd be in the playoffs today. But it's just wild, man, how the narratives get painted about stuff. And, yeah, man, it's tough. It's tough to talk about. It really makes me personally upset. It makes me forget I'm on air sometimes. You know what I mean? So it's tough, man. It's tough. And there's nothing in the current shield that's gonna ever change about that whole situation. And it's really disheartening for sure.
And I mean, you go ahead and again look at Colin Kaepernick, who's throwing passes at the halftime of the Michigan game and still looking like he can throw. And you got a bunch of jokers out there playing quarterback right now, and this dude can't even get a legitimate tryout. Like it's and you're gonna tell me that it's not a racial thing? Come on,
man, it's sad, brother.
People may not want to hear it, but that's the way it is.
Right.
And it's important to call it like it is. That's what it is. And
it's the reason why I don't have an NFL team. You don't see me super engaged in the NFL, man. It was a guy on Facebook. He was like, "Oh, I don't know how black people pull for Duke." Like and he's got a freaking Dallas Cowboys stuff here. Like, man, do you know you own it? Do you know the owner of that team is?
Yeah.
Like, are you serious, bro?
Yeah, exactly. No question about it. All right, we'll come back and wrap things up here as we continue here on the Grind Time program live from the Family Leisure Studios, Sports 56 98.5.
Be sure to follow us at Sports 56 WHBQ on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube to watch live video of our shows. Stay up to date with station events and have chances to win prizes from Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
I'm Sheldon Rosengarten, and I'm with you, Mallory, and we're both with Mark's Bensdorf Realtors. Well, a lot of people think about buying or selling a home being as much fun as having root canal. We can tell you that if you go about it the right way, it's like winning the lottery.
That's right, Sheldon. If you prepare prior to your home search or home sale, which includes using us as your agents, you'll feel like you've accomplished every objective you set out to attain, and you've won the lottery.
If you value experience and knowledge and rely upon those that can guide you to a successful conclusion, there's no better call to make than to us. Even after talking to 2 to 3 other real estate brokers, most people come back to us because their friends have told them that when you want the job done, call Shell Done.
Or Mallory Moves Memphis in whatever part of town you're in.
Call or email me at 483-0546 or memphisrelocate.com.
Or you can reach me, Hugh Mallory, at 497-9756.
That's Shell Done Rosengarten at memphisrelocate.com or 483-0546. Do it now so you can win the lottery.
Get in the swing of things. Grab your friends, your clients, your employees, and go enjoy everything you love about Topgolf in a luxury suite. While at Memphis' only Topgolf Swing Suite at Erling Jensen's Small Bites. Topgolf Swing Suite is an immersive social experience offering guests a luxury private lounge to enjoy Erling Jensen's extraordinary food and beverage service, all while playing a selection of games in a one-of-a-kind simulation day. Topgolf Swing Suites are great for work outings, celebrations, or just getting together. It's fun for the whole family. It's fun for golfers and non-golfers alike. They have more than just golf. They have soccer, baseball, zombie dodgeball, football, and more. Located at 5069 Sanderlin, adjacent to the Doubletree East Memphis. Check us out at SwingSuiteMemphis.com or call us at 901-58-SWING. Again, that's 901-58-SWING at Memphis' only Topgolf Swing Suite at Erling Jensen's Small Bites. Book your suite today.
Say there was a place, the perfect place for everything you need for tailgates and patios, grills and chairs, charcoal and coolers, everything to make a great game or a great day. That perfect place wouldn't be a warehouse. It's East Memphis Ace Hardware. Locally owned and operated at Quince and White Station, East Memphis Ace Hardware is where you'll find Benjamin Moore paints, local plants from local growers, and Black & Decker tools. Around the block, what you need in stock with people who know their tailgates. Welcome to East Memphis Ace Hardware, the home convenience store.
Acura of Memphis invites you to experience the all-new, completely redesigned 2022 Acura MDX. It's the most advanced SUV Acura has ever built. Experience the convenience of full connectivity, including built-in Alexa, Wi-Fi hotspot, and wireless charging, from the stunning interior complete with third-row seating. Stop by our state-of-the-art facility and take advantage of our aggressive APR offers today at Ridgeway and 385. Or shop online from the convenience of home now. Visit AcuraofMemphis.com.
Now, back to Sports 56 Grind Time. Here once again are Peter Edmiston and Anthony Singh.
Yeah. I'm keeping an eye on the goings-on at Augusta because my friends at FanDuel Sportsbook, I went ahead and popped a little bit down on a couple of guys. Took a long shot with Charles Schwartzel plus 55,000. He's only 2 under. He's not far off. Scotty Scheffler, I got him at a much. He's much more of a favorite. So I think he's like plus 1,800. I think plus somewhere in that neighborhood. He's 3 under. He's just 3 off in third place. Cameron Smith running away with it right about now. But over at Augusta, you know how it is. You know what's going on. It is first major. It is super fun. And FanDuel Sportsbook has you covered throughout. Those bets can go on anytime that you want. Just go ahead and access it. Check it out. There's all sorts of opportunities for you to wet your whistle a little bit. Get yourself in the mix over there at Augusta. So you've got those great chances to do just that. FanDuel Sportsbook has you covered with all the latest, all the greatest, all the very best in betting. And on top of that, you get a chance when you're watching these enhanced odds. It's going to be absolutely fantastic. And I hope that some of you guys are going to end up winning a little something special with this. FanDuel is America's #1 sportsbook. You can bet throughout the first major, first round, second round, third round, all those sorts of things, making cuts. It's all there for you. Check it out. Just download the FanDuel Sportsbook app using promo code BIGHEAD to get started. Again, BIGHEAD will get you started at FanDuel Sportsbook. Check it out. FanDuel Sportsbook, the official betting operator of the PGA Tour. Must be 21 and older and present in Tennessee. New users only. Must wager in designated offer market. Max bet $5. Restrictions apply. See full terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call Tennessee Redline 1-800-889-9789. So indeed, at the Masters right now, Cameron Smith is your leader, 6 under par. Sung Jae Im, 4 under par, 2 shots back. Scotty Scheffler, Danny Willett, Daniel Berger among those at 3 under par. Tiger Woods birdieing the 16th hole. It hits a lengthy birdie putt, sweeping right to left 20-footer to go in for birdie and to get back to 1 under par. And he's in a pretty good position at 17. He'll have another decent-sized birdie putt to potentially go to 2 under par. That puts Tiger in the top 10. Very solid outing for Tiger, especially given all that he's overcome to get back and play golf. And he looks very solid out there right about now. He's had a few loose shots. Hit a really weird, bad drive on the 14th hole where he just was kind of a straight duck hook. But other than that, he's been in pretty good shape throughout, and you gotta give him credit for that and for what he's been able to do. So Tiger in the mix. We mentioned the Titans and their involvement now in the new this whole lawsuit situation going on with the NFL. The Titans just released a statement in which they said our 2016 head coach search was a thoughtful and competitive process, fully in keeping with NFL guidelines and our own organizational values. We conducted detailed in-person interviews with 4 talented individuals, 2 of whom were diverse candidates. Interesting Way to phrase that. No decision was made and no decision was communicated prior to the completion of all interviews. Well, we are proud of our commitment to diversity. We are, and that's all capitalized, by the way, our commitment to diversity. That's capitals. I don't know why that's capitalized. We are dedicated to continued growth as an organization to foster diversity and inclusion in our workplace and community.
It's a bunch of bullcrap.
Mm-hmm. That is just womp, 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 womp. I like 4 talented individuals, 2 of whom were diverse candidates. What does that mean?
I had 2 black dudes.
That's what I just say that.
Yeah.
There's this like, I hate this. I hate the phrasing and stuff, man. People's phrasing. I'm just gonna tell you. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. I've been wrong before. Rarely, but sometimes. When I hear people sort of tentatively use the word African American, I immediately know that you've probably got some racist stuff going on. It's like that African American gentleman over there. Okay, yeah, something. Diversity.
You said that too.
My diverse candidates were the diversity was in. Okay, all right. Again, we're not using use terms call people what they are. Why is that like? Why are people afraid to say black? Like, what are we doing out here? I don't get it, man. That's just.
It's disheartening, man. Oh my God.
We interviewed 2 black guys. Why I say that?
Then you just lying, man.
Like 2 white guys and 2 black guys.
Nobody even asked you for a statement, man. So why you just come out lying? What was the point of just lying?
Well, they had to make a statement because they're in the middle of all this. And the NFL,
so what do they do? What are they
their part of the NFL. So the other thing. How did this happen? This must be a low key. This is low key a real insult to this. This is a real low key insult to that podcast. Because they had Mike Mularkey on, and he said, like, some absolutely scandalous stuff, and no one noticed it for 2 years. Did anyone listen to this podcast? You'd think someone would have said, hey man, you Mike Mularkey, hey, did you hear Mike Mularkey just said on this podcast? Literally, no one heard it. The NFL said, we did all this research. No one ever brought this to our attention. No one heard this. This podcast never existed.
Oh, man.
Man's out here saying, well, this was a sham interview, and I was going to be the head coach anyway. To nobody. I mean, what an insult to that podcast. Like, dang, y'all.
Y'all ain't got no viewers.
Somebody listen to this thing.
Is it that they didn't have viewers or the people who heard it didn't care, man?
I mean, I don't know. I have to think somebody would have said something. I have to think. Surely.
This is a Titans podcast?
No, it's a Steelers podcast.
Oh, okay. But if it's happening in East Tennessee, I mean, do we really think
Steelers are probably not known. That's the Western Pennsylvania. I ain't exactly.
Yeah. I don't know how they get down. So.
Yeah, well, I do. Pretty similar to what you're
East
talking
Tennessee.
about.
Yeah.
All right, we got to get out of here. Darian's apparently got to go to the bathroom based on his signal.
Yeah.
Coming up next,
to the end of the show.
Sports Time. Y'all have a great Thursday.
You don't have to visit the coast for fresh seafood. Catch the coast in Memphis at the Great Hunter Crab, 8325 Highway 64 next to the Wolf Chase Mall. Great Hunter Crab is a Cajun seafood restaurant specializing in the freshest seafood. Their unique blend of spices and sauces pairs perfectly with fish, shrimp, lobster, scallops, and crabs. Not a seafood lover? Try the soup, salads, catfish, and chicken. Great Hunter Crab open Monday through Sunday for lunch, dinner, and even catering. Try the signature drinks like the Lost at Sea or the Shipwreck. Visit the coast today. Great Hunter Crab, 8325 Highway 64 next to the Wolf Chase Mall.
Welcome to Triumph Auto Sales, where you'll have a great car